G'day guys, Josh Huggett here from Huggett Media, and welcome to Tog Talk, a weekly segment where we talk about all things wedding photography, and I literally just answer your questions. If you've got any question about wedding photography, how to get into wedding photography, what you should plan for wedding photography, leave a comment down below and I'll get to it and make a video on it. They come out every Tuesday. It's good fun little time. Today we're actually going to talk about me and how I got into wedding photography and kind of how we got to where we are now. So if you don't know, my name is Josh. I'm a professional wedding photographer in Adelaide, South Australia, but I do travel all around the world for wedding photography. And it's fun. We have a team of 28 photographers down here in Adelaide, and we take upwards of 100 weddings a year, 120 for 2024. And we have teams all around Australia now too, so we actually look after a lot of people, but it didn't start as a big, massive team. It actually started as just myself, just banging around, taking some photos. So I never wanted to be a wedding photographer, ever. I never wanted to be a wedding photographer. I always thought that wedding photographers were like really snooty guys, like in suits, and you had to go to like these big white weddings, and it was all really prim and proper, and you had to like do heaps of posing and all that sort of stuff. So I never had any aspirations of being a wedding photographer because I am just not that guy. I am not that guy. But then I went and shot a wedding for free. My Auntie Kate, she suggested that I go and shoot this wedding for her friends and recommended my services because I was already taking photos of like 21sts and 30ths and a couple of engagement parties and mainly abandoned buildings at the time. But she recommended my services and said I should go and shoot this wedding, and I did, and I got to wear just like jeans and like a nice button-up shirt, and it was in the Flinders Ranges, and it was fucking sick. They were just like so good to be around. It was super relaxed. It was heaps of fun. We got free beer. We got to take great photos, and it wasn't at all what I thought it was gonna be, like at all. Then I came back to Adelaide, shot a few more weddings, it's like for a friend in need and a couple of other cheap ones, and we had different like levels of weddings. So I went and did some really fancy ones, and I did some really like not so fancy ones, and then you kind of just like level out and find where you want to be, and then I ended up finding my couples that I have now, and the couples that we have now are absolutely fantastic. I reckon 99% of people that come through here are absolutely our ideal clients, and we fucking love hanging out with them. And we just have a great time, like literally all day, whether it's me shooting the wedding or any of my team members. We walk into the room and we just fucking start banter straight away. There's always jokes and laughter and just having a really, really good time. And we really inject ourselves into that bridal party to make sure that we can have as much fun as physically possible all day. Like we go to weddings, so like everybody, whenever you go to a wedding, people are always a little bit stressed, and you know, there's always a little bit of anxiety about the wedding day and all that sort of stuff. Even the most relaxed of brides and stuff, there is always that level of like, you know, it's their wedding, so there was a little bit of stress and that sort of stuff around. Whereas we attend weddings at least 3 times a weekend. So we are able to just kind of like bring that stress level down because we do it all of the time and make sure that everybody is having as much fun as possible. And that's what we do. We do a bloody good job of it. So yeah, that's how I got into wedding photography. From there, my first bits of marketing was, and I might make a full video on how to market yourself as well, especially starting out, but I sat on Instagram and I went Adelaide local businesses, and I found every single local business in Adelaide, specifically hairdressers and like coffee shops, and anywhere where you would have like regular interactions with your customers. So you've got a customer base that are regular and you talk to them often and you might actually be interested in their lives. How frustrating, my SD card ran out. So I reached out to all the businesses on Instagram and said, hey, I'm a photographer. I would like to give you guys some free content. I'll come out to your business and take some photos for you for free. That way you can use them for social media. You can use them for your website. You can use them for your ads. You can use them for whatever you would like. All I ask in return is that you just give me a little bit of a shout out, or if somebody's looking for a photographer, tell them that I'm available and I would love to help them, and just pretty much doing anything that I could to start building some word of mouth, even though I wasn't actually working any jobs at the time. Like I didn't have any like solid weddings or anything that people were like seeing what I was doing. So I was trying to get that word of mouth started, and that's how we got our first ever paid client here. It was a 30th birthday. I still have her on Facebook. It's fantastic. Did that and then just kept going from there. So every dollar that we earned, like we were shooting events for like $50, we would put it straight back into the business and find a pain point of our business and fix it. So we learned very quickly that we needed a flash if we wanted to work at night time. So we bought the cheapest flash that we could buy. It was like a Yongguo something, and we used that for years because it kept working. And all of our gear we bought secondhand too, so we never had the ability to go out and like buy a brand new camera. So we bought it all secondhand and just kept growing. We'd make $50 here, we'd put it into Facebook ads when we learnt what we were doing with Facebook ads and all that sort of stuff as well. But there will be a whole episode on this on marketing, I am sure. But this is how we started. Very grassroots, like literally just had a camera and wanted to become a photographer, and now we're kind of here, and it's very, very different to how we started. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode of Tog Talk. If you have any questions or anything you would like answered, just put it down in the comment section below. I put out a story earlier today, or when this comes out, I don't know when it was, but put out a story and we've already got like 70 other questions. So we might need to start making these like more than one question in a segment. But if you would have anything that you would like answered, just put it down in the comment section below. I'll get to it. We'll have a bloody good time. But until then, see you next Tuesday.